Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Sports Shorts. Ronnie Rantz alongside Tommy Krysan, TK here with us, and hope everybody's had a good one. I am joining you guys live from Las Vegas. Las Vegas, over here for a conference for MMA and boxing type meeting that's going on, Tommy. But that said, just like you did, I did the same thing last night, and that was I watched the semifinal game, between Ole Miss and um, University of Miami. And I'll tell you, TK, I thought that was one of the best games that I have seen in the playoffs, at least. And I know the playoffs in the current format with the 12 teams has only been in existence 2 years, but going back to even before that, when you had the 14 playoff, that was an unbelievable game. And in the fourth quarter, I think the last 4 or 5 possessions, whoever had the ball scored points. And, I think if Ole Miss has 20 more seconds, they may win that ball game. One thing I want to ask you, we'll talk about the game here in a minute, but the final play, okay, it was clearly pass interference.
Yes.
My question is at what point do they start calling pass interference on Hail Marys? Because, I get it. There's pushing and shoving that goes on, in the end zone on a jump ball type thing. But this was even more egregious than that. I mean, he was, had his two hands on him, controlling him, almost throwing him to the ground for 10 yards, 15 yards leading up to where the ball actually hit the receiver's hand. And I, if there's 15 seconds left in the game or 10 seconds left in the game, there's a flag is thrown. Why is there when there's 1 second left, no flag is thrown?
Well, first off, I don't think that was a Hail Mary. I don't know what the true definition of Hail Mary is, but that play was somewhere a little less than that. And I think it was interference. I mean, either interfere, it's either interference or not. There's no in between. It's like a girl's either pregnant or she's not pregnant. You're not like almost. And I don't like this. I think we can get up with that. Or did they call that in the second quarter? If it's pass interference, it's got to be called. And I think it should have been called it. Now, Pete Golden, you got to give him credit. After the game, he said, that's not why we lost. He gave it the good line there. But, it was interference. It should have been called. Ole Miss should have been able to run another play. But, Ronnie, again, you said it. What a great football game. Ole Miss has been in two of the best playoff football games in history, the win over Georgia in the Sugar Bowl and then the loss to Miami last night. By the way, I had Miami minus 3 points, so I was happy when Carson Beck trotted in the end zone. I said, just make the extra point. Not thinking Ole Miss would have a shot in the end zone, but they did. And just a heck of a game. And one of them, you hate to see somebody lose, but somebody's got to lose. So, and, the other thing, it goes back to Skip Bertman's line. I thought about this with all the controversy about the pass interference. Skip used to tell you and everybody else, hey, if we're up 8-0, it won't matter when that misses that call on the outside corner or that ball over the fence, whatever. So, it was a great football game, ton of talent on that field, and Miami moves on, gets to play at home for a national
Right.
championship. And Louis' good buddy, Mario Cristobal, Louis probably going to be sitting in a prime seat. I'm sure you're going to be with him, right?
Well, here's the thing, TK, is I'm going to put my money on Miami no matter who they play to win the national championship. It's the LSU effect, right? Every time LSU's been to the national championship game 4 times, they're 3-1 at home. And I don't know that I care who Miami plays. There's just no way, and they may be a dog against probably whoever they play, but I'm not going to bet against Miami. They're a Cinderella story. They got a good defense, even though Trinidad Chambliss did his thing at times against them, especially in the second half. But that said, Miami's defense was better than Ole Miss's defense for 60 minutes. Not that they were perfect by any means, but they were better over 60 minutes, and particularly in that first half. And that really bought them time, and that's why they won the ball game. And oh, by the way, Beck and Chambliss both played well. And I think the formula is there for Miami, right? I mean, the veteran quarterback has all the experience, all the skins on the wall, and oh, by the way, a hard-nosed, tough defense. Now that Miami team is super battle tested, and oh, by the way, you're at home. Oh, come on. But look, I for LSU, I'm glad Ole Miss lost. Right? I mean, like we can stop talking about who's coaching where. I think you're going to see some players from Ole Miss now come over to LSU. You know, now that it's over, I think you're going to see some players go in the portal and end up in Baton Rouge. I think that all along they thought that was going to be the case. They may not have the ones, not necessarily all the ones they thought. I think they thought Lacey, the running back, was going to end up in Baton Rouge. That was the word from all the coaches and all the people from the day one that they came to Baton Rouge. Unfortunately, with Lacey, you know, the Ole Miss winning a couple of playoff games and him spending more time there, and they had an opportunity to recruit him, he's going to re-sign. Trinidad Chambliss has said if he gets another year, he's going to re-sign with Ole Miss. Those are two players that probably December 1 you thought would end up in Baton Rouge next year, and they're not going to come. But there'll be some other Ole Miss players that'll come.
Yeah, I agree with that. We just don't know which ones, and that everybody assumed it would just happen. But Shambles had said if he gets the year, as you said, he's going back to Ole Miss. Lacey said he's going back to Ole Miss, the running back. So, with all that being said, I mean the portal continues to be like popcorn, just going off all the time. And the interesting story was Demond Williams Jr., the quarterback of Washington, signed the NIL deal for $4 million with Washington. Then said he wanted to go to LSU. LSU's been accused of tampering. I don't know if officially accused. And the agent for Demond Williams is also the agent for Fish, the head coach at Washington. He severed ties with Williams, said, "I'm not going to be your agent." Now, this morning, 20 minutes ago, Williams said he is going to go to Washington. He's going to go back to Washington, honor the contract he signed. So I don't know if anything will surface on the tampering with LSU. But tampering's going on forever. That's not going to.
Yeah, I mean, look, if
unless they got a video of Lane Kiffin in the kids' living room saying,
right.
"Look, the hell with Washington, come to LSU," and they ain't got that. So
there's been tampering going on for years, and the only thing that's happened is coaches got in front of a podium and bitched and complained, and that's it. Nothing's happened beyond that. Yeah, look, now it's getting to a crisis mode situation, right? By the way, Van Buren is going to South Florida. Michael Van Buren is going to South Florida, so LSU, he had already went in the portal, but if you thought, okay, well, maybe they have him come back, no, going to South Florida. So the bottom line, DK, is this is a
quarterback.
This is a bad deal. This is a bad deal. Here's why it's a bad deal, because whoever you end up with at quarterback now in the portal is not going to be your first 8 choices, 10 choices, so can Lane make it work? Probably, but no, it's LSU's gotten receivers, they've gotten linemen, no quarterbacks, not one. So this is a really crisis mode situation.
Yeah, I think we've been talking about the panic button for about a week. You might want to move it a little closer to arm's reach now, arm's length, where you can hit that panic button, because the portal's open for like 5 or 6 more days. And unless something shakes, I don't know. Does the Chambliss all of a sudden change his mind? Any of that could happen.
But see, I'm not of the belief, one, Chambliss should not get a 6-year of eligibility, and I'm not of the belief that he is going to get it, because to me, there's no case. Now, who knows? Let me tell you what, if Chambliss gets a 6-year, you're going to see a lot of people with respiratory infection problems. Let me tell you, but anyway, I don't think he's going to get one. He doesn't deserve a 6th. We'll see what happens. If he does, that would be horrible for LSU, because he'll be at Ole Miss torching them. But let's talk about tonight, TK. Oregon finds themselves a 3.5-point underdog to Indiana. I took Ole Miss last night. I took Oregon again today. I think Oregon's defense is really, really good. And they playing they played really well the last couple of games, and it's a coin flip. This game isn't at Indiana or anything like that. It's not on the road. It's a neutral site. So I like Oregon here.
I like Indiana. I think Indiana's going to get it done. I think they're kind of on a mission, kind of meant to be kind of thing, destiny. So I really like Indiana because obviously we all know more about Kurt Signetti now than we did in August. Okay, and I've been impressed with him, the way he goes about things, the interviews I've seen, the stuff I've read. I've been really impressed with him, and I think he's got that team in the right mindset. Now, Oregon's very good. Keep in mind they beat Oregon 30-20 back in October in Oregon, in Eugene. So that whole thing, like, can you beat somebody twice? It's not as easy as it might appear, or it might seem to some people. So that's the only thing that makes me a little hesitant is, does Oregon do something a little different, throw a wrinkle here? But I'm going to bet on Indiana. Like I said, I had Miami last night, so that was a W. I'm going to bet on Indiana and see if they can get it done. And then what a matchup that'll be in South Florida. Because, by the way, George Fernando Mendoza,
From
quarterback
Miami, yeah.
from Miami. So you're
Right.
going to have some stuff, of course, and his brother's on the team. I mean, there's going to be plenty of stuff for the writers and the radio guys and the podcast guys to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, talk about a Cuban American championship there. Mendoza, who's proud Cuban American from Miami, potentially quarterback in Indiana against Mario Cristobal, for another Cuban American who played at Miami and all this kind of stuff. So, um,
Well, and the other thing, Ronnie, when you talk about Chambliss, they're talking about Chambliss wanting another year. Then the next part of the broadcast, they're talking about Carson Beck's in his 7th year of college football. So I mean, it's wacky. Yeah, I don't know what other. There's a lot of other words we could use to describe it, but I don't know. It's kind of weird.
all right, TK, I got to jump off. Got to head to the conference. We'll be back tomorrow morning, Saturday morning, 10 to noon on ESPN Radio, Lafayette, Lake Charles, and Baton Rouge. I'll be joining you and Hunter McCann at some point. You'll be live at the Bruley Walk-Ons. I'll talk to you tomorrow, TK.
All right, thank you so much there, Ronnie. All right, don't forget Tremonti's Meat and Seafood. Lunch special today, fried catfish topped with crawfish etouffee. It's a big-time Friday special every Friday. Fried catfish, crawfish etouffee on top, salad, piece of fried bread. You get it all at Tremonti's Meat and Seafood. Load up for the weekend. Your wine, your bourbon, your vodka, your tequila. They got it all here at Tremonti's. Jefferson Highway, right down the street from Parkview Baptist. You can get some ordering online, Tremonti's.com. Also, catering is available from Tremonti's. Crawfish coming soon. I've had a couple people ask me, hey, when's Tremonti's going to have crawfish? Coming soon. That's all. That's the only thing we can say right now. As Ronnie mentioned, don't forget Sports Church Radio tomorrow morning. Hunter McCann and I live at the Bruley Walk-Ons. And then Ronnie will join us. Joel Davis will join us. Who knows? We may come up with some other people for you, too. So hit up Sports Church Radio tomorrow morning. Baton Rouge, Lafayette, Lake Charles. Don't forget to like and share this show. Doesn't matter whether you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, or X. It helps Tremonti's. It helps Court Street Cafe. By the way, Court Street Cafe steak night tomorrow night, and they get their steaks from here at Tremonti's, ribeye or filet. Court Street Cafe Saturday night steak night. They have their Sunday brunch. Like and share this show. That helps everybody involved. We hope you have a good Friday evening, good weekend. Radio tomorrow, Sports Shows Daily, back on Monday morning. On behalf of Ronnie Rantz, Mike Tremonti, and everybody here at Tremonti's, I'm Tommy Krysan. Have a great day, everyone.